Welcome to the ultimate Irish road trip. We're taking on the Wild Atlantic Way, one of the most popular and iconic attractions for tourists visiting Ireland. Stretching around 1,500 miles along Ireland's rugged west coast, it's one of the longest defined coastal routes in the world. This is day 2 of our road trip. Yesterday we made the 4-hour drive to Dingle in County Kerry, arriving late in the afternoon. We explored the charming town, soaking in its colourful streets and lively atmosphere, and enjoyed a delicious pint of Irish Guinness. Cheers! I've been dying for this all day. Today's plan is packed with adventure as we take on the Slea Head Drive, a stunning loop around the Dingle Peninsula. It's famous for its breathtaking coastal views, rugged cliffs, sandy beaches and fascinating historical sites.
God, I hope they're still sturdy now and they don't cave in.
We'll be making plenty of scenic stops along the way, so let's hit the road and see what the day brings. Well, good morning. Welcome back to another vlog, another day of us in the motorhome. So I'm not going to lie, we had a bit of a later start this morning than what we wanted. So we wanted to get up a little bit earlier. It's now 10 to 9 and we're only having coffee.
Oh,
Coffee is served.
lovely. Thank you very much. Good morning. Oh, that's not bad. That'll wake me up. Look at the size of this bed. Isn't it so cozy? To sleep in it last night was A1. I slept right through.
I woke up to go to the toilet as usual. So that's one thing I really appreciate with this motorhome, is having a toilet in it. But yeah, other than that, I slept like a baby. The bed is so comfortable, as Caitlin said, like really comfortable. We couldn't plug in either, so we couldn't use the heating system or whatever way it works, and we were still nice and cozy, so it's obviously well insulated.
Okay, so before we actually hit the road, we do have to unpack. All of our suitcases are still in the storage compartment in the back of the motorhome, so can't really go around in these clothes for the whole time, so we better get unpacked. You could actually sleep in there. It's that big. Oh, that's a lot of gear.
Right, so we're all packed up. The motorhome is ready to go. Oh God, thank God for that. We just feel so much more organised now with everything put away. So we didn't have time for breakfast. I'm very hungry. So it'll be a quick little snack on the go. And the choice of snack on the go is some cottage cheese. People might think this is weird, but me and Caelan absolutely love this. We literally eat it out of the pot.
It's gorgeous. It's so good, isn't it?
It's so nice. It's high in protein and low in calories for a cheese. That's really good for you, like.
Right, so the plan for today is we are going to do a drive called Slea Head, and it's basically a loop down here in Dingle, in the peninsula. So we're going to start Dingle town and go, there's a few stops on the way, and then what happens is we come back to Dingle town, so that will be the loop, and then we make our way out of the peninsula from Dingle town. So I think to drive this just, you know, in a consistent way is about an hour and a half, maybe an hour 40, but you won't be doing that because you're going to be stopping to see all the incredible views that are and attractions that are here on the Slea Head. So we're not too sure. It could end up being a 3-4 hour job, we don't really know, but we're excited because we've seen some of the places that are on this route and they look spectacular. So
Did you see there's a thing I read online and you can actually go and hold a baby lamb?
yeah,
Can we do
it's
that?
in.
Yeah, I think it's on this drive. You see a sign for it?
Yeah,
I'd love to do that.
go in and hold a baby lamb.
Oh my God, yeah. They're adorable. Did you ever see the videos and all?
Yeah, it's a farm, I think.
Yeah, yeah. But in the video I seen as well, there's a sign up, like, do you know what I mean? So it's well signposted to it.
Yeah.
It's like you want to hold a baby lamb or something on the sign. We should definitely do that.
Right, we're going uphill now, which is the first sort of, I wouldn't say challenge, but the first time we've actually had to drive up a hill in this. Also the roads have become very narrow, so I'm not too sure what I'm going to do if I run into another car that's coming down the hill. But yeah, we're starting to get some really spectacular views now around here.
Oh, it's unbelievable. All the different greens in the fields is just, it's gorgeous. I'm also just looking at the roads here as we're driving up. They sort of veer off for cars to pull in if you do meet a car.
Yeah.
Because it is obviously a popular drive to do. So I wouldn't be too worried, like. So we're at our first stop along this beautiful drive. It's absolutely gorgeous, and the place we're at now is called Dunquin Pier. So it's a really popular spot for tourists to come and visit. Now we're after parking the van and it's absolutely lash now. So we're going to just wait and see if it stops. But that's one thing that I love about having the motorhome, is that we can just tuck ourselves inside. We stopped off and we got a coffee as well on the way, so we're just waiting for the rain to stop. Now it might not stop. We're talking about Ireland here. It could be down for the night, but it might stop.
Do you know what? It's not even the rain, it's the wind as well. Like it's wild.
The wild Atlantic way.
That's what they call it, the wild Atlantic way. Because it's just wind and rain.
Yeah. We'd be blown into the Atlantic Ocean with that wind.
Right, so it's calmed down a little bit. So we're going to go out and try and get a bit closer to the cliffs. Still a bit windy, still some speckles of rain as well, but it's probably the best it's going to be. So now is the time. Really? That's the best one? That's the best one. Oh, nice.
Oh no, we might have to get one.
We pulled into a garage on the way here to get a coffee, but apparently this is the best coffee in all of Dingle. It's lovely. It's like a little kind of wooden stall on wheels, basically, right on the coast. It's gorgeous, isn't it?
That is gorgeous, yeah. This is unreal. Look at the walk down to it. So let us give you a little bit of information about Dunquin Pier. So it's a very popular location here on the peninsula, offering beautiful and peaceful scenery with amazing views of the Atlantic Ocean. The pier itself is a simple stone structure surrounded by steep cliffs and green hills, with the Blasca Islands visible in the distance. It's a quiet, almost untouched place that feels both dramatic and calming at the same time, with the waves crashing below and the wind in the air. Maybe a little too much wind. It's getting less windy the more that we're coming down, because we're blocked in by the cliffs, which is great. It's absolutely stunning.
I think Samantha spoke too soon. It's proper windy down here. I don't know what you're talking about.
It must have just been that little part.
We were covered in there briefly, but wow, look at this.
Oh my god.
This is amazing. You can see all the coastline, just how rugged it is. God, it's so beautiful. It's also scary and dangerous looking.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. The water as well below us is actually a really strange kind of colour blue. Really kind of bright, like turquoise. It's beautiful. Look at this rock here, look at that. Wow.
Oh my god, it's gorgeous. I can't get over the colour of the water.
Okay, so we've made it down to the bottom of that kind of little pathway that brings you down. It's a lot calmer down here, obviously, because we're now covered by walls like this, but I actually think this is a little swimming spot, because they have a little ladder down into the water, and then it becomes a little bit shallow over this side here. So I think a lot of people might swim here in warmer conditions, but it's lovely.
Would you be brave enough to swim today?
Do you know what? We do hope to swim over the course of the next week, you know, travelling the Wild Atlantic Way.
Yeah, we brought our wetsuits and all, so we're well prepared to get into the water, do you know that way? But I think today is just a little bit wild. We're back on the roads. We're driving through some very narrow roads now. How are you finding it?
Grand, wouldn't we don't meet another car. I think though, because I'm probably going to be bigger than most of the vehicles that are going to be approaching us, I think that kind of gives us right way, doesn't it? Like as in
That's true,
they
yeah.
have to move, I guess
Yeah.
you'd say.
Country drivers are very, very nice, I have to say. We were only talking about this earlier on.
Yeah.
You know, they have a lot of patience on the road. They're not going to be beeping at you or anything like that and putting you under pressure. And they're always very friendly and waving and stuff like that. So it does make you feel a little bit more confident when you're driving on these type of roads.
Oh, that looks good. What's on the menu?
Some lovely lunch. We're having like a veggie chicken stir fry.
Lovely.
I got the recipe on TikTok, which I always do now. There's loads of good recipes on TikTok, but this is lovely. It's very simple to make as well, just for being in the motorhome. So it should be made in like 10 minutes. Do you know what? We're actually pulled into our next stop, which is Clogher Strand, but the winds are just gone really bad, so we're just going to give it a bit of time. We just thought this would be the perfect opportunity to make some lunch because we are really hungry and we sort of skipped breakfast as well. So yeah, the perfect time. So hopefully the winds die down and the rain. The weather's just not really going in our favour today at all. Lunch is served.
That looks delicious.
It smells delicious as well, doesn't it?
Oh, yes. God, the weather doesn't look like it's improving at all, lads. Just looking out the windows here.
I know.
There's a few people bracing it. I've seen a few people walk down onto the beach, but like for 5 minutes. And
That'll
then
be
they're gone.
us.
That'll be us. After we eat this.
Yes. So there you go.
You're a star, thank you. This is what we love about doing these type of trips in a motorhome, is that you can just pull in. Okay, the weather's not great, but the surroundings are beautiful, and you can just pull in, make a meal like this, and just enjoy.
At least it stopped raining.
Yeah. We're gonna go down and have a little look on the beach, see what it's like.
Oh, the sun is popping its head out. This beach is lovely and it's very secluded as well. It's surrounded by the cliffs. This is absolutely paradise. Isn't it gorgeous? Yeah. This would have been the perfect spot to get into the water.
You know what, we just seen there on the signs, there's actually no swimming allowed on this beach. I don't know why. It must have something to do with the current maybe, but it looks like the perfect place to go and swim. But yeah, I had no swimming signs just up there.
I wonder, is that all the time or is it just the time of year it is? Not too sure, but it would be a lovely place to swim. It's so peaceful here. We're the only ones on it. So in case you were wondering, in Ireland we do have sandy beaches. Right, so we're at our next stop and I think this is going to be my favourite. So we had mentioned earlier on, we actually read online that you can hold a baby lamb, okay? So we were looking out for the signs and we actually didn't see them, but we typed it in on Google and it brought us to it. So you can also book tickets online and it's only like €4 each. We didn't, we're just going to walk in, so hopefully we can do it. There's signs here and all. You can get a coffee. What else can you do? You can also feed the baby lamb a bottle. I think it's like for an extra €4, but there's different times of the day, and one of them, the next one is like 6 o'clock, so we're not going to hang around that long. But yeah, so we're going to just get our jackets on, we're going to go in and hopefully this all works out. Old Irish farmhouse. So I also read online it's like 150 years old. What else do they have? They may have other animals, I'm guessing, but I know the lambs are a thing. I read up they have like beehives as well.
Okay.
So anyway, let's go in and see what we can do.
So the lambs are in the shed over there on the second door. There's a pen, you can go in the pen with them, you can pick them up. Don't put your fingers in their mouths, wash your hands after, bathrooms are there to wash hands.
Right.
The huts are through the gate down to the right, it's a 3-chambered hut, super right. 2 huts in the yard, more huts up the back, it's 4 ahead is the entrance.
Okay.
So the cash.
I can do a card as well.
Okay, let's go in.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get any of that information. He just kind of gave us instructions very, very quickly, and I was just like, okay. So all I heard was, don't put your hand near their mouths, because they can bite.
Oh, your man's very funny. You just told us to go into the shed basically and pick them up.
Yeah, so there's no way. I thought you would have probably walked around with us, but yeah, we just go in and hold a baby lamb.
I'm holding the lamb. Oh, he's so cute. How old is he? 3 weeks? 4 weeks?
4 weeks, that fella. 4 weeks.
He's
That's
big
mad.
for 4 weeks.
He is, he's like the size of a medium-sized dog. Bit of a funky smell in here, isn't it?
They're adorable.
Yeah, they're very cute, aren't they?
I think I want a baby lamb. No, honestly though, I can't get over the size of them. I really thought they were going to be like tiny.
Yeah. The guy was just going through the ages of them there. Some of them are about 4 weeks old, 5 weeks old, and then the eldest is 3 months.
They're like dogs, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like dogs.
I think they're sheep.
Oh, they're sheep. So
Yeah, they're fairly big now for lambs.
he said the lambs are getting chunky. He said there's one small one inside. There's actually a few people in there. But it's so funny because we were like, what do we do? They're in a little pen, and he's like, hop over and pick them up. It's the funniest thing ever. I can't stop laughing.
Oh, look.
Ah, God, look at it.
Cute there. Okay, so in addition to the holding of the baby lamb, we're also allowed to visit these structures. They're actually called beehives, is that right?
They're called beehives. Now, when I read it online, I thought they were actually like saving the bees type of thing. I don't know
Well, I
why.
don't blame you. You would think
You
that.
would think that, yeah.
You
So
know?
I actually asked him, I was like, where's like the beehives or whatever? And he was like, that's them there. So we're in one now, and this one is like 1200 years old. So this is where people used to live. Because it was basically cheap to be able to just, you took the rock from the ground, he said, and built them. So this is how old these go back. And then he has one up further in the grounds of the house, and he said that's about 120 years old, and it was built with the house.
Okay.
And it was just built for extra storage.
Right.
Because it was just the style, it goes with the style of it
Yeah,
all, like,
yeah.
do you know that way? But
They're very,
that's
very
crazy,
cool,
isn't it?
yeah.
They're really cool.
They have kind of like little tiny little gaps between each one of them that you can actually walk through. Here, hold on. Kind of like this. God, I hope they're still sturdy now and they don't cave in. Ah, yeah. They're nice, aren't they? Obviously they've taken the
Roof down.
roof down.
The
But,
one up there actually has a roof on it.
yeah. What has it got? 1200 years, is that what he said?
1200 years, he said these
Wow.
go back.
That's mad.
It's mad, isn't it?
That's mad.
Stumbling across these huts was fascinating. As mentioned, some of these huts are over 1,000 years old. These unique huts were built by early settlers using a dry stone construction method that allowed the walls to lean inward, creating a beehive shape. They were used as homes, shelters, or even monastic dwellings, as their design was perfect for Ireland's harsh weather. The huts are scattered across the Dingle Peninsula, with some located in remote areas, offering a glimpse into Ireland's rich history and its early communities. Walking among these timeless structures, you can almost imagine the lives of the people who once called them home, sheltered from the wind and rain, surrounded by stunning landscapes.
Do you know what? For €4, not bad at all. You get a little tour of these and then you get to go in and hold the lamps.
So yeah, because the ones down that we were just in are kind of the eldest, they are kind of falling apart a bit. Where here's an actual, I was going to say modern one, but I think it's like 120 years old. But as you can see, it has the roof on it. So this would have been a bit more of a better representation of what they were back in the day, basically.
And as he said, they just built it as a storage place with the house. It was built with this house.
That's mad.
The house is gorgeous.
It is. Very nice. Look at that for a view, Samantha. Imagine.
Imagine living here. That's unreal.
Right, it might be time for the pub.
So our next stop is Paddy O'Shea's for a nice pint of creamy Guinness. That's a terrible country accent. This is actually a very famous pub, so this is why we stopped here. We were going to park here last night until we found the other spot, but yeah, you can see there's a couple of camper vans there as well. I'm not too sure what the price is. I think it's like €10 a night, but yeah, we said we'd have to stop in for a pint of Guinness.
Okay, so Guinness Zero for me, obviously, because I'm driving the motorhome. I can't have the actual Guinness, but they did have it in there, which was handy. They have it on a can though. Sometimes you can get it on a draft, but they had it in a can. Now, cans of Guinness can be tricky to pour because you have to do it right. There is a little trick. If you put the glass over the can and then turn the can and let it just slowly come up until about just over 3/4, and then I'll stop it there and then just let it settle, and then I'll just top it up in about 1 minute and 20 seconds. Here's one I made earlier.
Liar.
Now that's Samantha, the barman in there, poured that. So.
And you've done it wrong. I'm disgusted because you
Why?
don't stop it halfway. You do it straight through with the can.
No, you don't.
You do.
You can do it full all the way, but you should stop as well.
Oh, should you?
Patience.
We do it differently, so I do it the full can all the way and then keep pouring it up, pouring it up, pouring it up, and a lovely pint of Guinness.
That's actually...
Keelan's way is different.
That's
actually, if you're Irish and you're watching, let us know in the comments what way is the right way.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, yes, so as Samantha said, Paddy O'Shea's pub, very, very famous pub here in West Dingle. So, I'm sure if you're Irish, you know who Paddy O'Shea is. If you don't, if you're not from Ireland and you don't know who he is, he was actually a famous Gaelic footballer. So in Ireland we have our own national sport, Gaelic football and hurling. So Paddy O'Shea was a member of the Kerry football team, and he managed them as well then as when he retired. Kerry actually have the most All-Ireland, so that's the championship that every county in Ireland competes in Gaelic football. So Kerry have a team, Dublin have a team, Galway, Cork, Derry, they all have teams. It's the highest level that you can play Gaelic football as if you represent your county. So Paddy O'Shea, very successful Gaelic footballer. He has 8 All-Ireland medals, I think it's 8. And Kerry in the 80s, I think, had 4 in a row basically, which was a record up until a few years ago when Dublin, which is where we're from, overtook that. We have 6 in a row, so it might be a long time before that record is broken. Also as well, we have 3 members of the Dublin team that have 9 All-Irelands now, so they hold the record for the most All-Ireland championships in a career. But yeah, he's very, very famous Gaelic footballer. He's like a god in Kerry. I actually met him in Dublin City a long time ago now. I was just walking down the street and I spotted him and I ended up just getting a picture with him. But yeah, what's interesting is he actually owned this pub, and his house that he grew up in is just right across the way from the pub. And they have a statue and stuff like that outside, and then inside is just full of pictures and memorabilia and things like that. So it's a very, very cool spot to come to. So yeah, if you're in this part of Dingle, definitely recommend coming up and having a pint. So thanks so much for watching this video. If you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up just to support our channel. This is just the beginning of our Wild Atlantic Way road trip. So make sure you follow along by subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell. So once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.